thank you very much for talking to me. It's an honour to be here. Could you tell me a little bit about the story of how you had the piano originally?
Oh, right, yes, well I can. I was at Euston Station and they had lots of old pianos. There was a charity that does that, and it said on them, "Play me." And there were these wonderful people playing, so I thought, well, that would be really nice to have in the hospital. So a friend of mine, whose father was a pianist, said, well, I've got my father's piano and I can donate it to you. And it was a very beautiful, old, grand piano that lived here in this space that we're in now, very happily, until one day there was a flood from the first floor here, straight into the piano. And that was the end of that piano, sadly. So that piano was sent to piano heaven, and we then thought, well, now what? So I thought, well, I'll ring up Steinway, because I don't play the piano, I know nothing about pianos. And the only name I knew was Steinway. So I rang them and spoke to you. And you very kindly said, who are you?
Well, yes.
Where do you think you're going to put it?
Yes.
We have now a wonderful team of pianists, and the stories that they tell are just extraordinary about the reaction patients have, or visitors, or staff even, you know, they just suddenly want to tell them a story about something that's just happened to them. It's just extraordinary.
I bet.
And it's always good. And they also say, if there's somebody sitting here playing, they'll see a patient in a wheelchair with tubes and, you know, the whole thing, and just totally flat. And they'll hear music, and they sit up and they take notice, and they suddenly look revitalised. And I think it makes a huge, huge difference, and it just takes their mind away from what they're actually here for.
The Friends of Royal Marsden are the heart of support at the hospital, volunteering, fundraising, and funding vital equipment to help patients and staff every day. With 170 volunteers giving 30,000 hours a year and nearly 100% of donations going directly to the cause, they make a real difference where it matters most.
There have obviously been some very memorable stories that have come from the piano and the music and everybody. Is there any particular one or two that stand out?
Oh, gosh, there's so many. Well, a couple, I mean, one of the really, really poignant ones was a little boy of 10, and he was having piano lessons, and he reached grade 8. Apparently it's quite good.
It's good, it's good.
And his mother was a patient here. And his father came to us and said, can we arrange for my son to play? And so we arranged for a Sunday morning. And it was just extraordinary. The whole family came, the grandmother and mother-in-law. And
what a moment.
yes. And then another one was the very first person to play here as a volunteer was a chap who's retired now. And he was playing something, and there was a young couple sitting right here, and asked him if he would play something. And they sat together and listened to it, and then went away and nothing else was said. And then when Michael came back following week, there was a message for him at reception, and it was addressed to the man with yellow hair, because he's blonde, and they didn't know his name. And the message said, you never know how much that meant to us that you played that tune. And my husband died 2 days later, but we had that moment together, and we can't thank you enough. It was just amazing. And so that's just one. I mean, there are so many more. We've had weddings here.
Have you?
Yes.
Wow, incredible.
Yes.
Well, around the piano. Okay.
The whole family. Yeah. And they knew she was terminal, and they knew she was terminal.
And they played the wedding march and everything? The word?
I can't remember what they played that day. But we arranged it, and they had the whole wedding reception round here.
How extraordinary.
It was just unbelievable.
Yeah. And did all the staff come out? And
they do. They often do. Okay. They often do. Yes. And they did on the Sunday with the little boy playing as well. And they were all on the stairs listening.
I'm here with Sarah, one of the regular pianists here at the Royal Marsden. Thank you for talking to me today. There must be some amazing moments that you've had What's it like here, playing in this space? And tell me a little bit more about your experiences.
It is incredibly moving. People will come up to the piano, they'll tell me that they're going to have their chemotherapy and they've come here first to listen and relax. I think I'm told probably every time I come that this is better than any medicine or treatment. It is really very moving.
Wow.
To play here.
And how did you get involved?
My sister spent the last months of her life here and they were absolutely wonderful to her. And one day they let me stay overnight while she was having particularly difficult treatment. And in the morning when I came down, I saw the piano and I thought, well, when this is all over, I'm going to come back and see if I can give something back for everything they've done.
Sarah, do you have any particular stories that come to mind when you've been sitting here playing the piano?
Yes, there was one lady came down with her husband and she said, could you play for my daughter? She's going to be 18 tomorrow. Could you play Happy Birthday and could you play something by Andrew Lloyd Webber? So I said yes, but they couldn't get her out of, I think it's intensive care. The wires and stuff wouldn't work. So they asked me, could I come back in an hour or so and play again? So I did, I played her things, then I went up the stairs where she was and it was very, very moving. She was very happy. But sadly, she died the next day, so I just felt like I'd done something to help.
Yeah, extraordinary.
Extraordinary place.